Hi there, everyone.
Hello.
Here we are, Wednesday again, and we're here.
Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday, our favorite day of the week.
That's right.
So we are here for the Tipsy Realtor, and we're doing the Salted Carmel Cocktail, and we're actually going to have a debate on blanket rezoning and densification in municipalities, because we all know that that's always a big topic, especially with the fact that we just had this big, huge election, which is finally done. I am always happy when elections are done, personally.
Me too.
She actually works an election. I just don't like the politics.
I survived, yes.
I like the fact that we can talk about something different than just the election.
That's right, yeah. And obviously there's going to be possibly some changes, but we're going to cover the topic because there are a lot of pluses, there's a lot of minuses. It all depends how people view it. And I think it's going to be definitely a hot topic for a while in Calgary.
Well, and honestly, here's the thing. Everything is good and bad. So keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Nothing is all bad,
But
and nothing is all good.
It's going to make it better with a caramel apple cocktail in the
Absolutely.
hand.
So
did I get it right?
You did. So we are starting here with just a rocks glass.
Yeah.
And you can see that we've got
we got was it
plate
caramel
with caramel. You can show them the caramel sauce.
Yeah, we got caramel sauce. What we got? What's the maple for?
That goes in the cocktail.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you basically coated the rim. Oh, good idea. Yes, let's put that. We coated the rim of the glass with the caramel, and then you're gonna dip it in a salt. So salted caramel, if you're a fan.
So you can see that you're just rimming the thing with salt and caramel.
Yes. All right. And then
now into your shaker. So if you look at your shaker here, you're putting an ice to start, because you're going to want to shake this for about 30 seconds. But we are going to start with our ingredients. So 3.5 ounces of apple cider. And actually, I was pretty surprised. I found this in the produce section of my grocery store, not in the juice aisle.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I had to ask for help to find it.
Was it like in the fridge?
Yeah, it was in the fridge in the produce section with all the juices.
Because it's non-filtered, right? So you have to refrigerate it.
And then 1.5
of dark rum. Yum.
And then 1/2 ounce.
Sorry, I closed it.
Of syrup. Maple syrup, not just regular syrup. Maple syrup into there. And we're gonna clean up because I'm always messy. And then now I don't think Anna, because we kept doing old fashions, Anna didn't have shaking dance for.
Oh my God! Okay, so this is me finally.
Fashion. We got to make ssure she exercises.
Oh my God! I totally forgot. Where is my maracas?
One day
yes,
you'll have maracas. All right. So now we're taking the glass that we've rimmed with caramel and salt, and we are sticking the ice inside it. And then we are going to take the drink here that we've just shaken, and we're going to put it into our glass. There we go. And now...
Okay.
Oh.
What?
The other camera's off.
Oh.
That's okay. And now we're going to...
Decorate?
Yeah, decorate.
With an apple slice.
That's right. Apple slice. Here we go.
That looks good. Oh, hold on. So we can like really show that.
Yeah. There we go.
Okay.
Looks really, really nice.
Let's give it a go.
Mm-hmm. What's nice is actually with the apple is you can get the caramel and the salt on the apple because you can like rim it together. You don't like the salt?
I can, Don't love my salt.
Mm-hmm. The drink is good though. Super good.
Better without the salt. It doesn't taste very appley though.
There's apple cider in it.
I don't know. All I taste is caramel and rum. Maybe I'm a pirate.
I think it tastes good.
Yeah.
I think it's refreshing.
It's definitely desserty.
Yeah, it's definitely desserty. It's definitely a fall
Mm.
drink. Like if you want to change from like pumpkin spice something,
Oh yeah.
this is
Totally.
definitely a nice alternative to anything pumpkin
It's
spice.
like a liquid apple pie.
Mm-hmm.
Just put maybe like a dash of cinnamon in.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Okay, I think I just made this drink better.
What are you doing now?
No, I was like no salt, cinnamon dash.
Cinnamon actually would be nice on it because you can get a spiced apple cider, but yeah, like definitely putting cinnamon on it would be nice.
Yeah, no, it's delicious. Yeah, very easy. I would highly recommend if you guys are gonna be entertaining in the next few weeks.
This
Halloween
would
coming.
I would actually be impressed if someone gave me this as like a welcome cocktail.
Yeah.
Right? It's a nice welcome cocktail.
Yeah. I think it's with the welcome cocktails, as I find out once again on Monday, it's very important to remember how many people are coming.
Yeah.
It's really hard to make a welcome cocktail for 50 to 100 people.
No, but that is nice.
I attempted.
You tried.
I tried.
That is a nice welcome cocktail. Like if someone gave me that when I showed up at their house, I think I would be really nice.
I think so too. Like it's a little like appetizer.
Yeah. All right.
All right. That's awesome.
Go. Let's fight about blanket rezoning.
Blanket rezoning, densification, right? So Robin and I are gonna go for both pros and cons. So I'll do pros. You'll do cons.
So she's gonna be pro blanket rezoning, and I'm gonna be against blanket rezoning.
Because actually, Robin can argue.
I can argue. I just like to argue.
Let's remove this. So personally, again, because somebody who very passionate about our inner city Calgary, I am pro blanket rezoning and densification, partially because number one, our center is getting tired. It's getting old and older every year. So majority of those homes will have to go. And yes, as much as we understand that a lot of people like to have that single family vibe community, we have population growth that Calgary sprawled out so much, and we need people want to live closer to the best schools. They want to live to the parks, to downtown, and only way to do it if you can't find a housing in the inner city. And if you're not building anything, and if the builders take forever to build something, even those like semi-detached homes, it's only what increases the cost of the build because they're sitting on land. That said, also all the lots in inner city Calgary now close to like $1 million. So you have to build like I would say like townhouse row something, a product. Number one, it makes it more affordable to live inner city, even though yes, it's expensive, but it does provide, instead of one house to two houses, 4 to 6 places now that can house the new Calgarians to live in inner city and provide that potential, like give them options that they cannot afford. Not everybody can afford $2 million home in inner city, but they can afford 700,000 like a townhouse, or 900,000 semi-detached. So it's important to give the builders who are changing footprint of our inner city to let them easier to build those multi-units. So basically, with a blanket rezoning, it provides more housing for inner city and gives a lot of young professionals and families to have the lifestyle that they can afford. Also, they can walk to work, they can walk to schools, they can walk to like the shopping, because everything's going to be much closer. And when you live in outskirts of the Calgary, you have to drive. It's all drivable. It's really hard even to go to the Safeway even if you have a commercial by yourself, like close by. And of course, when the new like all the communities get a facelift so far, like people investing into them, people rebuilding things, they building new infrastructure, they're bettering the roads. So basically, they're increasing overall property values inside. So you might think identification will cause opposite effect, but actually it will increase your property value. And the more people live there, then better it is for the tax break, property tax break, in terms of decreasing decreasing the property tax value
Okay.
per percent.
So I'm against blanket rezoning. And blanket rezoning, the reason I'm against it is because the reality of it is if you need densification in inner city, then just rezone inner city. If you need densification in certain areas, just rezone those areas. With the blanket rezoning all the way out to the suburbs doesn't work because a one size fits all solution is never the right solution. We've seen that Edmonton did this probably 5-6 years prior to us, and they've seen nothing but problems in regards to their blanket rezoning. They've got buildings being constructed in communities that don't meet the community standards, that don't blend in with the communities, and they're not serving the community needs. So that's where the issue. So you want to rezone something, fine, rezone it in that area, but you don't need to rezone the entire city at the same time. Make the rules on a per issue basis instead of making the rules on a one size fits all. And that's where the challenge is because we don't need densification in the new communities. We may need densification in inner city. That's fine to give as many people access to the train, to the amenities and stuff like that. Then rezone that area and leave the rest of us alone. The reality also is that these people bought houses in these communities with the intention. So like if you've bought in suburbia and you bought because you wanted to live in a single family house community, and now suddenly you have this blanket rezoning and somebody builds a fourplex to you, well, that's going to lower your property value. And that's not fair. And that's not what you bought for. You didn't buy in that community to live next to a fourplex. Because if you wanted to live next to a four or a sixplex, you would have bought inner city. You moved out of inner city because you wanted a tighter community that had more people that were like you, that were similar to you, that aligned with your views and your values. And when you start putting in that densification, it is harder and harder to get that kind of community that you're looking for. And that's the problem with blanket rezoning is it's you can't fix things with just big huge strokes of a pen. You have to fix it on a case by case basis.
Yeah, and that's definitely a good point in terms of how it affects the communities, especially that they're not in downtown core. But what we're finding with suburban communities that people want to have those garage suites and legal suites and for their family or like a mortgage helper. And I think getting even permission to build that without the blanket rezoning is really hard.
So they already have rules and laws in place to help with the secondary suite program. It's a whole entire program. They don't, again, need to change the zoning to allow and enforce the rule that they already have. They already have the secondary suite program. It is already allowable regardless of the zoning. So you don't have to do this blanket rezoning to accommodate a program that is already in place to help with mortgage helpers and help with secondary suites.
Yeah, and that's definitely a good point. I think at the end of the day, when we look at how, and we listen to a lot of our clients too, right, in terms of how some of them love it, some of them hate it, depending on the client. And I think the smart planning is the most important part. Doesn't matter what you do. At the end of the day, everybody has to apply for approval to build something. And as a community, you have the right to appeal that build or that development as well. I know that something takes time out of everybody's day, but if you care that much, you can definitely appeal that building process and how many units go by, get to build in next to your home or in your community just overall, because there's a process for that.
Why shouldn't you have a say what goes next door to you? Why shouldn't you have more of an influence as to what's being built around you? And that's where the challenge comes in too.
Yes.
But I will say this: smart planning and government. I don't know how those two fit.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Smart planning and government. Oh my God.
Like again, it's we do both, like we both who like work in this industry in real estate in Calgary have grown over the years. And yeah, sometimes you wonder how that planning worked out for some communities. And And no wonder people are unhappy with how it all went. But at the end of the day, I think everybody is looking for safe home space to grow their kids or live,
or good investments.
good investments, having a, like, opportunity to able to, have a health services, grocery store next, like go to out to a restaurant. We all want those conveniences, right? So that if it's a urban sprawl or it's a densification within the city, I think that planning, how that community will serve the people that live in it, is very important. And we should, like, the government really should consider how they approving things
But see,
to build.
and I understand that what it once was may not be what the city needs. But I think that if like you look at communities like Mackenzie Town, Seton, Auburn Bay,
Those
like
are pretty tight, yeah.
you bought in those communities for a certain lifestyle, which also too is this is where and I get you're not committed, you're not entitled to that lifestyle, but you bought there for a reason. And I'm sorry, I'll be honest. Here's one place. Let's be honest. One place that we will never see densification happen is in areas like Lake Bonavista, because there is a shit ton of money in Lake Bonavista and Lake Bonaventure. And I'm sorry, but those kind of areas
Yeah,
we'll never
Lakeview is
see.
another one of those.
Yeah, you're never going to see the densification because those people have enough money. And so you get into a community where they don't have enough money to fight. And now what? Like you have to be rich in order to have it fair? Like, how is that right? By the way, Tammy Feeney actually commented that she lives in the southeast, and she says that it's become a nightmare, the blanket rezoning down in her area. And I can just imagine what that's like in some areas. And you feel like you've been duped because you bought this house for a certain privilege and a certain lifestyle, and you invested your money there, and now all of a sudden all these things are popping up and you're like, this isn't what I bought in for. Because I can only imagine what I would feel like we've got a house that burned down in Hidden Valley, and people are terrified it's going to come back as a sixplex. And now realistically it's probably not going to come back as a sixplex because it's not the highest and best use. And that is something that you have to look at when you're looking at this blanket rezoning, is high and best use of the land. So out in suburbia, high and best use of a land is not to make a fourplex in the middle of single detached houses, but they are seeing stuff like that in Edmonton. And that is a problem, right? Like these people, and they're building these products in Edmonton that doesn't suit the community. And I think that we have to keep that in mind, as there is a lifestyle that that community has. And I actually, again, president community association of my community association, I actually think that they should be discussing these kind of redevelopments with the community associations of these communities to see where they can get, if there's buy-in or not. And if the community association is against development, saying absolutely not, then you shouldn't do it, because the reality of it is the community association, which is there to represent the community, is saying it doesn't fit the community's needs.
Yeah, and you know what? I don't disagree with the community needs or the smart planning, because I honestly think that's the most important part. And again, like with the people who in the industry to build homes, they will try to build, of course, for the maximum return on their money. You have to remember they're building homes for the, to make money. That's their job. So at the end of the day, those projects get approved by the city of Calgary. So if that gets approved and nobody appealed against the project, it goes up. That's simple. That's how it works.
So that's actually what Tammy's saying too, is how hard it was for them, because there was no signs on the fences, and it's like they took away their right to choose, to fight, to argue, to know.
Yeah, I don't know exactly like on the bylaws, but I'm pretty sure she can go appeal the whole
so
thing.
And I'm going to tell you this as an Airbnb owner, which is kind of off topic, but it is another community issue that people complain about. As a Airbnb owner and as someone doing a new project, I actually think that you should be obligated to put a sign up to say where it is you can complain or where it is you can debate this prior to it being allowed. And honestly, that's my opinion, even with Airbnbs. Like, I think Airbnb should be obligated to put up the Airbnb neighbor line and their phone number on the front of the Airbnb. So if there's ever a problem, everyone in the community knows who to call. And I think that they should do the same for developments. There should be a sign that says, if you disagree with this development, this is where you go to complain or to debate or to have your voice heard.
Well, technically, that's actually already like part of the advertisement in the community for, at least I know in Chestermere that's how it's practiced.
Yeah, and they put it in the
Yeah.
newspaper, but I'm not trying to be rude. Who looks
No.
at the newspaper? It should be right on the property so people walking by
Yes.
can see.
Yeah, and that's again, that's I do believe that's actually that's what should be happening, and I think it's a part of the policy bylaw. If it's not been done, I'm pretty sure that people can appeal. Again, I'm not the specialist on appeal process
Yeah.
of development, but from the what I know, because I work with the builders and developers enough to know what stages they had to go through to advertise in the community, because it's a big step and they won't get approved from the city anything unless they complete that step.
Well, and I will say this as well is, and I get where people say I shouldn't have to go do that. Unfortunately, you know what?
Yeah.
You have to advocate for you. That
Yeah.
is your responsibility, whether it be your health, whether it be your community, whether it be your taxes, whether it be your child's education, and whether it be your child's health. You have to advocate for you. And
Yeah.
I will say that, saying that I shouldn't have to, trust me, if you don't fight for you, nobody else will.
And I just want to bring out the last topic, last thing. I mean, Calgary is a growing city. We definitely, like, what we are third largest now. No, Montreal probably fourth largest.
No, I think
third?
we're bigger than Montreal.
Yeah, so third largest like city in an entire Canada. We have grown so much, especially over the last 3 years. From migration, immigration, interprovincial immigration, tons of people came to Calgary and Alberta just in general. So we only have to figure it out how to house all the people that come in, and they would say in 2 years we're going to be over 2 million.
I know, but you're going to be starting a whole nother issue about if we build an immigration plan federally, we should also build an infrastructure plan to house and service the immigrants, of which we bring into our country.
Okay, we agree on that. It's a federal issue.
This is a federal issue.
Yeah, so that's a federal issue. But the thing is, until federally we fix that, these people are still coming to Calgary. That's the point, right? That we're still growing. And we'll still have to figure it out where all those people are going to live at some point.
Agreed.
And not all people need affordable housing. They need choices where they want to live. And because a lot of them do come from Toronto and Vancouver, like selling their properties, that basically Calgary would feel like on sale to buy. You know.
It would, but here's the other thing though too, is when you get in all these people from other countries, in their countries, living multi-generation to a house is normal for them and expected, because in their countries, a lot of them, they have an obligation legally to care for their parents. So it is a cultural thing.
Yeah.
So building itsy bitsy little shoebox apartments is not going to fit multicultural, multi-generational housing for these people. And that's a bigger issue too, is that when you blanket rezone, you build tiny little shoe boxes, and these people are coming to our country and they expect to be able to live multi-generation, and you can't do that in a shoebox.
Well, they can buy lots of units.
Lots of shoe boxes.
Lots of shoe boxes. Yeah, they can just get a building and all live there. But jokes aside, it's not for everybody. You know, everybody has own needs. And I don't think the blanket rezoning is saying that we're going to build one product to serve everybody's needs. But it's, at the end of the day, it's giving options for people to live in different areas and increase the densification in Calgary. That is basically fastest growing city right now in Canada. So, and we will need to solve. We did have a discussion actually right before the show, affordability versus
so affordable housing. Yeah, attainable housing versus affordable housing, because resale and social housing are two very different things. So when we talk about truly affordable housing, that's a social issue. And when we talk about affordable resale housing, that's a whole different marketplace. But here's the biggest thing. If you want to know how you can afford a house or multiple houses, you should call us, because we can teach you how, because that's what we do.
And we know the communities. If you tell us what you're looking for, we can recommend looking into the communities, because we know where the hot development's going. If this is something not for you, we can tell you where to stay away from, which community. If you're trying to get into a fancy community with like parks and like fancy schools and walk to downtown or whatever that is, we can also suggest what kind of lifestyle is going to be waiting for you at the budget you can afford.
But we also know all the tips and tricks if you're just trying to get into the housing market. So if you're young, if you're old and you haven't got a house yet, or you had a house and it's gone now and you want to buy another one,
Or you want to invest.
Yeah, we know all the tips and tricks on how you can qualify and get a down payment for a house. So give us a call. But other than that, next week, and
Yes, okay.
poor Tracy, she said to her counselor was ignoring them. So I hope you got a new one.
Yes, I hope the new one definitely will, that's what they should be doing, right? Listening to the
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
okay, so if you like, love, and share our show on LinkedIn, on Facebook, Instagram, if you comment, YouTube. If you share it, tag a friend, you get your name entered either one or multiple times depending on what you do.
We're giving up the prize away. It's a 16-piece bartending kit with a shaker and all the tools that you need to make a awesome cocktail and look professional.
Exactly, for the Christmas season coming up or Halloween.
If you're not a cocktail maker, it makes a great gift. So every time we see you guys liking, loving, tagging people on our show on any social media platform, your name gets entered into the drawer. And
next week,
first week on Wednesday, we'll pull the name of the lucky winner.
Sorry. Okay, next week, coffee and cigarettes is a cocktail.
I love it.
I totally want to see what this one's going to taste like. And then how to remove cigarette and body odor smells from your house, because that is something that comes up all the time with our clients. The house smelled like smoke or anything like that.
We're going to light it up at your home, right?
But just so you know, that's what we're doing next week. I hope we see you next Wednesday. If you know of anyone looking at buying or selling a home in the next future, have questions about the real estate market, have questions about investing in real estate, give myself and Michelle a call. We are here for you. Sorry.
She has a new friend. only been 6 years.
I'm sorry.
That caramel apple really hit.
Sorry.
That's okay. Yeah, Anna and Robin are here to help you with all your real estate needs.
My gosh. It's been a long Wednesday already.
Yes, it's been a long week. But thanks for watching, you guys. We'll see you next Wednesday.
See you. Bye.